And glory goes to our mighty power Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and salutations unto the elect men feeding the sheep of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in sincerity and in truth with this great gospel that's coming out of our Bible. And we're going to get into this lesson, right? Into this lesson, let's read this. It says, the greatest threats to the U.S. according to Americans. According to Americans, your spiritual Babylonians, your spiritual Egyptians, right? Spiritual Sodomites. What is their biggest threats? What's their biggest fear? It says the most critical threats to the U.S. over the next decade, as cited by U.S. adults. It says cyber terrorism, used of computers to cause disruption, fear in society. Development of nuclear weapons by North Korea. Development of nuclear weapons by Iran. International terrorism. Right? These are the things that's the biggest fear for the Americans. Right? It says international terrorism, spread of infectious disease throughout the world, the economic power of China, global warming or climate change, large numbers of immigrants entering the U.S. illegally, the military power of Russia. Conflict between Israelis and Palestinians, conflict between China and Taiwan. Now, when you look at all this stuff, a lot of this stuff has nothing to do with the average American, right? It's talking about things happening in other countries. Palestinians, Israelis, China, Taiwan, right? All these different things that America done got in these other people's businesses, and now these other people's problems done cause fear here in Babylon the Great. Fear here in Babylon the Great. Because what happens, man? The other nations, it says what the nations were angry, right? Because what? They done ate of Babylon's philosophies and ways, right? And guess what? It didn't work out for them. It did not work out for them, man. Their societies are collapsing and fell apart. Their systems are not working. The women are out of order. The men are soft, right? So we know America has not been a good role model to the world, a good role model to the world. And now we see the fears are coming back to haunt them. Because most of the fears is about other things coming from outside elements. But when you go to this right here, this article, let's read. It says 9/11 was a wake-up call. America is still snoozing after the Capitol assault. I'm going to read it again. 9/11 was a wake-up call. America is still snoozing after the Capitol assault. Domestic extremism is the greatest threat to the homeland, yet it's not getting nearly enough public attention. Domestic extremism is the greatest threat to homeland, yet it's not getting nearly enough public attention. And they're trying to bring attention to this issue. They're trying to bring attention to this issue, right? Because Obama said in 2023, the internet is the biggest, the internet is the single and biggest threat to our democracy. And what's happening on the internet? You're having people here in Babylon the Great forming different groups, right? How did these people get together to go to D.C. and do that thing at the Capitol building? Through setting up on the internet, right? Before the internet, you can get all these different people to come together like this to make this move. But what? The internet is a tool to bring people together. The internet is a tool to see what the lies of the people who are in the rulership of this society. And what? They're being exposed, and their system is collapsing. And what? The fears of these people are coming to pass. And guess what? What's the next thing that's about to be called? Pretty sooner or later, they're going to call in that martial law, and we talking about a real martial law. And we talking about real martial law. We talking about a ration of foods, right? Where they distribute food, where they control the transportation, the trafficking of cars. You can't go into the city. What the scriptures say, man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able to, right? That's what's coming very soon, man. That martial law, where what Pretty soon the troops gonna come in like a flood, and they shall not spare any. That's what's coming. The Lord is setting this up. And this is what a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. I'm gonna go to the book of Second Esdras. Let's read Second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the times diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and what? Uproars of the people in the world. What you got going on right now? Uproars of the people in the world, right? In all these different countries, you got uproars of the people in the world. The people are being taxed. The people are being oppressed. The people are being killed, right? The people are being robbed. People are being forced to work for minimum wage and poverty, right? And still stay in poverty. And they're looking at their rulers eating good, living good, enjoying the beauty, the best of life. So the people are fucking upset, right? It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes are happening all over the place, and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? This ain't nothing new. The Lord told us these things was going to come to pass, right? For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning, and the end is manifest, man. Because you see the end. This is the end of what this Edomite society, right? The dollar is collapsing, right? The school system is failing, right? Education is failing. The medical system is failing. The dollar is failing, right? The infrastructure is collapsing, right? The trust in authority is collapsing. This is the end of a kingdom. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in the wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, right? And we see the signs. We see the signs. You got to be blind not to see the signs, man, because they're all over the place. They're all over the place. And this devil's talking about, what America's biggest national security threat, right? Because now they feel like, oh yeah, there's something coming. They could feel something's coming. America could feel something is coming, right? The biggest threat to the U.S. national security today is the U.S. Congress, right? They're blaming themselves, right? They're blaming Congress. They're blaming the people. We just read it says homeborn nationalism, right? Domestic nationalism, right? What else you got? What is current biggest threat to U.S. national security today? The American Legion, the biggest U.S. national security. Russia, they're always talking about Russia, right? China, all these different things. But really, what is the biggest threat to America's national security? We about to go to it. It's Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, man. It's Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And I'm going to show you. This is the book of 2 Ezra 16:1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon, America, Babylon the great, Asia, and woe be unto thee, Egypt, Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloth and sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Right? Who may quench it? Right? Plagues. We know about the plagues, the missiles, the famine, the pestilence. Right? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Can't nobody stop the famine. Can't nobody stop the pestilence. And can't nobody stop the missiles once they are shot from the mother countries. Right? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench a fire in a stubble when it have begun to burn, right? Look at them forest fires, man. Once that bitch kick off, Esau can't do nothing until the Lord put that motherfucker out, right? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth plagues, and who is that can drive them away, man? Yeah, that's who's threatening. The mighty Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai sendeth plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightning, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid. The Lord shall threaten. What's about to happen? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten. Well, I'm going to read it again. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence, man. Yeah, Esau is done.